we were talking about what Renee and I make and what we paid in taxes, and this person is giving us some advice, saying that you might want to pick up some real estate rentals to help offset those taxes. And I understand what you're saying. When we had the trucking company, we lost money in the trucking company every year, and it turned out to be obviously a good thing. That's why we weren't. I wasn't. I wanted to get out of the trucking company, but I wasn't screaming and yelling to you guys. It's killing me, because it was proving to be a nice little tax offset at the end of the year. You lose money in one company, you make money in another. I'm not talking to him now. I'm talking to folks who might hear that and go, "Why would you ever want to lose money in any one of your companies?" Offset those taxes. They make the rules. I just play by them. As far as jumping into to real estate rentals now, no. Prices are soaring around here. The interest rates are high, and I don't want to get into dealing with renters coming and going. No, I need more to offset my taxes, to be sure, because there isn't a lot of overhead when you do content creation. You don't have, like in trucking and in landscaping and some of the other businesses that I've been in, you don't have fuel and equipment and maintenance and repairs and tires and oil and belts, and you don't have all of the shit that goes into running a business. You're doing content. You need a phone, an internet connection, and if I'm being completely honest with you, what we need to do is we need to go on more vacations, because we do them as working vacations. I go on a cruise, or we go on a cruise. We go to Jamaica. We go somewhere, anywhere, New York, to see a concert. And I do content, and it becomes a working vacation. So then I get to give to my accountant all of it. It doesn't mean that all of it gets written off. She then uses her accounting brain to figure out which parts can and cannot and should not count as a write-off. But I hand her all of that. The airline tickets, the car service to and from the airport, the hotel, every meal we eat while we're there, the cost of going. Like, here's the cost of the fucking cruise. Here's the cost of going to the all-inclusive resort in Jamaica for 10 days. And then she figures out how much of that gets to be written off. And we do get to write off a certain chunk of all of that. So instead of going out and buying houses and taking on renters, I'm of the opinion we just need to go more fucking places. We need to go take 3, 4, 5 vacations a year and do content on all of them. Now, that's not going to happen in the immediate. But I'm being very serious when I say more trips. Whether they be long weekends domestically, fly out to San Francisco, Vegas, New York, Los Angeles, Denver, whatever, or, leave the country and just do content. When my accountant first said to me, "Well, did you do content when you were on vacation?" "Yeah." "Did you make money on it?" "Yeah." "Give me all the cost." Are you fucking serious? You want like the cost of the resort? Everything. The flights, the resort. Did you take a car service to and from? Did you go on any excursions? Did you film any content while you were on those excursions? I want all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I get to write off things like office supplies and shit like that, and there's a certain amount of mileage I get to write off for the company and whatnot, what have you. And the next car that we buy will be in the company's name, not in my personal name and shit like that. But, nah, I'm not going to jump into rentals now. And I'm not opposed to it by the least bit. That was our original course of action. We were going to get into rentals years ago. But the prices of the houses jumping is what caused us to shift gears and get into trucking. But at this point in our life, no, I don't see us jumping into rentals. Nor do I see us flipping houses or I don't see us doing any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, the only way that I would get into rentals at this point in time is if my kids couldn't buy a house on their own for whatever reason, and I couldn't give them enough money to buy a house, but I could use my credit and my name to go buy a house or a condo and then turn around and rent it to them for as cheaply as humanly possible so that they could get into a place. I mean, that's the only reason I could see jumping into a rental at this point in time. Or if Renee and I moved out of this house into a different house, into a new house, and then we rented this one to one of our kids. And I say rent because, in quotes, because the purpose of renting is to cover your expenses and make a profit. I don't know that I could do that with my kids, right? You know, it'd be like, this is what it costs for the house to exist and the taxes and all of that shit. That's what you need to pay. So it's like you're the owner, you're just not on the title, you know, that kind of shit. I can't see myself going out and buying a house now and renting it to a stranger. It's just, nah, I'm done with that kind of shit.